Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Just give me a second while I get myself together. Making sure that we are live and we are good to go. Hello, everybody. Just give me a few minutes. Well, give everybody a few minutes while we get ourselves together here. Today, I'm going to be working on another canvas. Instead of doing a junk to journals today, I'm not junk to journals, Jesus, junk to treasures. We're going to be doing, we're going to be working on this canvas with some of my latest pieces. I'm just trying to remove some of my recently done little last minute additions here. And I was running out of time, so I'm just kind of popping them all out. Giving everybody some time to get here. Hello, Ada. Hello, Sasso. Yes, we're just gonna give people a few minutes. I'm here kind of working my little magic here, trying to get this taken out. Usually I have more time and patience to do this. Right now I'm kind of rushing through it, trying to get at least a few pieces that I can incorporate into today's project. These are all my original design. These will all be available very soon for sale. And we're going to be talking about that today because I need some feedback from you all. Yay, I got it out. Some of these are really, really small. And I still have to fiddle with them just a little bit more to get the other little bits out. But they do come out quite nicely. Sometimes they just stick here and there, but nothing an exact one I cannot handle. I have to see, I think this is more than enough. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5, 6. Actually, I have more than 7, like 7 little fishes. Let me just pop out another little one of my trumpet corals. That's what I'm calling them because of the way that I made them. Well, the way that I designed them, and I'll share that with you guys in a second. Let me just pop this last little one out. You know how it is when you're trying to go live. Everything that can go wrong shall go wrong. And I started cutting these out like literally a few minutes before I had to start going live, which was not too smart of me. I think these things are designed so that you have to kind of snap them off the frame the way that the machine itself cuts it out. Not that I designed it like that, but the machine does that. Okay, so I think that's good enough. If I need more, I know where to find them. All right. So we're going to be working on this really large 12 by 16 canvas. It's already primed. I get this from Dollar General, to be honest with you guys. Whenever I run out of canvases, they always have canvases there, and they range between $3 and $5. This is the larger one, so it's $5 for the larger one, and it's already primed, so you don't even have to adjust to it if you don't want to. I'm not gonna adjust to it today. So yay, you guys, I'm so excited. Oh my god, the day is getting closer and closer and closer for the store unveiling and all of the designs and everything that I've been working on. So you guys, I'm going to use this canvas as a backdrop for what I'm going to share with you guys today. So I'm going to be working on this canvas. Again, it's a 16 by 12, I believe the size was. This is the beautiful mermaid that I designed to go with for today's canvas. Hello, Carrie. And she is a queen in all sense of the word. For those of you guys that are new to my channel or new to how I create and things of that nature, I tend to go for things that are a little bit on the larger scale. Even my journals and things like that are usually, they tend to be on the larger size. And when I create, I tend to usually make pretty large projects. That's just something that I like to do. So she measures almost 12 inches because this is 12 inches in width. So she's almost 12 inches. And this part here, I created like a highlight area for her because I know for some of us, sometimes it's a little bit hard to know like where to add certain highlights and things like that. So I went ahead and added the highlights into her tail for you so that you can go ahead and either fill that in. You can fill that in with like glossy accents. You can fill that in with glitter. You can fill that in with whatever you like. You can fill it in with paint. You could always, you know, make this area inside of here a little bit lighter than whatever you paint the outside with, and that'll give you kind of like a natural highlight. So when I do these chipboards, I kind of design them with certain things in mind that they're useful to me when I create. So her name is Lula. Maybe I'll show her like this. This is how we're going to be creating today's canvas. Is actually in portrait style. So this is Lula, and I absolutely love her. I love her hair. You guys know that I love to like do like little whimsical, you know, wispy kinds of hair. And so, you know, obviously you guys are going to see that through other things that I create. So I did cut out 2 of them. On one of them, I did take out the top, this part here, I did take it out. On this one, I'm not going to take it out. I actually want to leave it as is because I'm going to paint the tail and then I'm going to layer this on top so that this can kind of show through the opening. And then that way I also get to kind of double her up and make her a little bit thicker. Now, when I do sell this, you know, I keep repeating myself in that department, but when I do sell them, I'm going to sell them as a single. This is 0.22 thickness on the chipboard, so it's pretty thick. It handles gesso pretty well. And basically, that's how thin they are. If you want to make them thicker, then that's up to you. If you want to glue them together and double them up. You know, maybe if we ever make it down the line where I'm actually able to manufacture these on a larger scale, then we can think about, you know, other things. But for right now, since I'm doing this from here, you guys bear with me. I am going to try. Her name is Lula. Yes. And she's part of the Jupiter collection. For those of you guys, let me show you real quick the canvas. I don't think I showed it live yet. So let me show you what the canvas came out like after I did everything I did to it. I did share pictures, but this is what the canvas came out like. I went ahead and I added some Galaxy glitter by Deco Art. Some of this stuff right here. I did go ahead and add that in there. I went back over the stars and added more white over them. I also went over the crow and added more white over that. I went back into her and just added a little bit more detail. I glittered her whole body, so when you see her from different angles, she's kind of very glittery. The only thing I have left to do is kind of pour the triple thick over this to just kind of seal the whole thing out. But this girl right here is a chipboard, and she's basically the main character for this Jupiter collection. She's the one that kind of started it all because her name is Jupiter. Okay. And yes, you guys. So all I have to do is kind of, you know, gloss this whole thing over. And then this will be all done. But there's so much glitter and just so much yumminess, depending on the angle that you catch it from. I don't want to blind you all with the glare. But I'm having so much fun. I'm having so much fun. And what's more awesome about this than anything else is the fact that I get to create with them. So I get to make them and then I get to do something with them, which is super cool. So this is Lulu, not Lulu, Lula. So this is Lula. And I wanted it to have kind of like a combination between the moon, because I love the moon. You guys see that I put the moon in a lot of things, but I didn't want to call her Luna because that's kind of something that, you know, they use a lot. So I was like, what can I have that's something similar to the moon, but not the moon? So Lula it is. So that's her. You guys, and this is Cosmo. Oh my God, I'm so in love with Cosmo. Cosmo is my little seahorse. And to kind of keep it all with like the whole, you know, kind of outer spacey, extraplanetary type of vibe, I went ahead and added like all these little, you know, extra little things, because obviously these are supposed to be like alien creatures. It's not supposed to really look like what we have here. They're supposed to look something like it, but not all the way like it, right? It's supposed to be some kind of a mix. I don't know. I've never been there. But that's what my imagination tells me. So this is Cosmo, and I'm trying to remember names because I'm giving them the names as I'm creating them. So and then this cute little fish that I created here, if I can find them, is Pinto. Where's Pinto at? Right here. Let me just pop out all the little little bits because I didn't get a chance to just clean them out. And again, they all kind of fit within the same kind of celestial type of theme. So let me just pop these little things out real quick. And I have a few different sizes. Again, I'm most likely going to be focusing on kind of like what I call small, but to me small is more like a medium. So medium and large is really going to be the sizes that I'm going to be focusing on. I'm not going to be focusing on things that are going to be too small. Again, because most of the projects that I personally like to create are on a larger scale. So if you're like me and you like to create like larger scale projects, then this is definitely something that you might find a lot of joy out of crafting with, because they are larger and you have more surface to play with and alter and do all kinds of whimsical things with. Okay, this little thing right here. Now, I don't want to take too long today, but I'm not going to rush myself either, so I'm going to be taking my time. So this is Pinto, you guys. Look how cute Pinto is. Oh, maybe I'm against the white. There you go. And again, with the little bubbles all over the place, kind of like to match with the seahorse. And to match the theme of the original canvas, which was the Jupiter canvas. Yes, right? Very mystical. This is Jupiter's mystical sea adventure. And these are like the little friends that she's finding along the way. And I told you guys this was going to be a very sea-themed type of spring / summer / couple months. I have a lot of sea-themed. Oh my God, that's so hard. Sea-themed items that I would like to go through so that I can get it out of my system, because I have quite a lot. Carmen, what are you making? Girl, I'm gonna be making a whole bunch of different stuff. I mean, a whole bunch of different stuff. Right now, because I was, since I had so many sea-themed things, I wanted to create, chipboards that I can use along with the paper. So like today, I'm gonna be using this French Riviera right here, which is gonna be part of this. So I have a lot of papers that I got that are like, that have this kind of stuff, this kind of theme to it from different brands. And I just really want to use them up. I really want to use them up. And if I'm not gonna finish them all, then keep a few and then give the rest forward. Like that's where I'm going with it. So yeah, don't worry. I'm gonna have a little bit of everything. I already have like a whole bunch of stuff already in the works. This is just gonna be the first collection, and that's actually what I wanted to talk to you guys about moving forward, because I'm kind of debating right now on how I want to distribute them. I would say if I'm gonna be distributing them as an individual or as a kit. And the reason that I'm saying that is because I've also created some stencils. Now, this is the entrance to the grotto. That's what I'm calling it, because that's basically how I designed it and the purpose for which I designed it. And let me see if this will help to kind of show a little bit better. So hopefully you guys can see that. See how that kind of is. So this is my first stencil design by the piece. Okay, so yeah, I might like I said, I'm trying to figure out like what is the best way, because I was thinking maybe I can do like the whole collection as a kit, and that will include like the stencil that goes with it, like the chipboards that go with it. And then I would, instead of doing, like one thing, I'll probably have like different sizes and just do like 2 different kits, like one size and then a different size. So like if you're an art journaler, or if you like to make albums, if you like to make cards, then the smaller size kit will probably be the best one for you, because you'll be able to fit them on the surfaces that you're most comfortable working with. If you like to create larger scale projects like I do, then you will go for the larger one, because you'll be able to, use them on larger surfaces. But in that event, if you're open to all, then you basically all the sizes will fit for all different types of things. So this is part of the Jupiter collection. This is the entrance to the grotto. And I love it. I can't wait to use it. I haven't used it, you guys. Oh my God. I was so nervous because I messed up my first one and I was running out of time. And I was like, oh my God. So I already had it like all designed and ready to go, but I didn't have it like ready. So this is what I'm thinking. So I already kind of told you what I want to do with the mermaid. And I have like the little fishes and everything like that. This is going to kind of go like this. This is going to kind of go like this. And wait till you guys see the stencil for this baby right here. OMG. If you think the chipboard is like nice, the stencil is gonna be like, what? I love, love, love the way that that tail came out in that stencil. Oh my goodness. So they're all gonna have a few stencils to go with it, like, you know, things that you can use to create together. So this is the entrance to the grotto, and you guys are gonna see how I'm gonna be able to fit that in. We have Pinto the fish, and I cut up Pinto the fish in a few different sizes. You know, for little things like this, like, yeah, I'm gonna have like obviously smaller ones, but for main pieces, the main pieces are most likely gonna be on the larger scale, just like the smaller little like you know, assistive characters, if you will, are gonna be you know, might be in smaller. Right now I'm trying to cut out the different styles that I have, the different styles that I've created, just to see kind of what works, what doesn't work, because not everything is gonna work well with the machine. And then I'll just save those other designs that I have there that don't work too well with this machine for maybe another machine. Yes, I will be using the stencil tonight. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. So this is super fun. I can't wait to use the stencil. This is my very, very own first stencil. And like I said, I still have a lot of things that I'm trying to iron out in the background because I'm doing this all on my own. But I should hopefully have things up and running, officially up and running within the next couple weeks. Because I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Even if all I have to start off with is just like this design and some of my other designs that I shared with you guys before. Some of you guys saw those already. Even if it's that and this, I think that's enough for me to start. I have enough images to at least, you know, fill up the front of the store. I just don't want to have like one item and open up a website, you know. I want to be able to have quite a few, and I want to have different stencils and stuff like that there. And we'll see where this road leads us. Oh, yeah, right? Maybe, hopefully, right? Hopefully. So I'm just gonna do that, and then I'll just do these as I need them for the most part. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put this stuff to the side. I'm gonna get this little thing ready to go, and then I'm gonna figure out exactly where I want this. So I don't need I just want this paper for the inside of my little grotto cave. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna draw that in there. Let me get a pencil. To be or not to be, that is the question. Call equals cool. Oh, okay. got you. So I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of trace this. And I do have the negative for this, but these are not gonna be sold with the negative. And if you don't know what the negative is, that's where it comes, you know, out of. You're just gonna get this piece. And obviously it'll be packaged, you know. It'll be individually packaged. Everything will be individually packaged unless I sell it like a kit. If I sell it like a kit, then I'll put everything together. But if not, then I'll probably you know, do it like that. So I'm thinking that I can kind of this is where this ends. I can kind of do something like this. And I'm not caring about the edges, honestly. I'm gonna be using modeling paste over most of this. So I just want to be able to know how wide I need it. And again, this is French Riviera collection by Prima that I'm going to be using in the middle of this. I still haven't decided for the color scheme, but you guys know how it is. It's sea themed, so it'll be a little dark. And then we'll see how else. Everything else kind of comes out. So I cut this oval out. Hopefully that'll be enough to kind of like, yeah. Because this is like the entrance. So I don't know. Maybe that'll work. Let me cut out. My mind is already starting to flow, you guys. My mind is already starting to flow. And that's what's awesome about it as well, is that the fact that, you know, you grab some pieces and automatically, like, your mind starts giving you ideas of how you can use it and how you can lay it out. I'm going to cut this into strips because I'm thinking that I could make, like, steps. And yeah, they're not perfectly even. You've been here long enough, you know that I'm not one that worries too much about the straight lines. Even though I do tend to look like I'm OCD and every now and then, but. So I'm thinking that I can make this into like little makeshift steps. Right. Something like that. Put it upside down. I'm gonna obviously be looking, so I don't like upside down paper, unless I purposefully put it like that. All right, so something like that. I'm thinking, like, that leads up to the entrance of the grotto. So maybe I'll do that. Yeah, I think so. All right, so I think that that is what I'm going to do. Quite a few pieces here to work with, but I'm sure that it'll be awesome fun. Okay, so number one, what is numero uno? All right, so number one is gonna be to lay down some color here. So I already kind of know where I want this to kind of be. And honestly, I don't even need to worry about actually you know, capturing that space because I'm gonna be putting paper over it, so I'm not gonna worry about that actually. I was gonna worry about it, but I'm not anymore. So let's grab some colors and let's see where we go. Okay. We're going to need some black because I want them to be dark in the center, you know, because we have this whole cave situation going out, and I want it to be kind of dark, you know, around the areas because they're going to be like the brightest elements on here. So the background is okay for the background to be a little bit darker. And I've been using a lot of these kinds of colors, so I'm just going to pull out more. I'm going to add some of this metallic blue. So we have some black and we have some metallic colors. We have some chalky colors, some chalky finish. And I think I'm going to use this Sea Breeze. Let me just shake these babies up. I have my water here with me as well. This is really thick. I always pull this color up because I like it so much. But it's so thick that chalk paint that sometimes it's like, oh my goodness. All right, so in kind of like the fashion of what I did before, I'm just gonna let this paint kind of come all out. And then I'm just gonna, you know, slack it back and forth a few times. So we're going to do that. I'm gonna grab myself a brush and just kind of move all those paint buggers around until I get all the paint off of them and then dispose of them. And again, this canvas is supposed to be primed. So hopefully. And as I mentioned before, if you are here or if you're watching this after, I'm going to be doing a giveaway for this collection, the Jupiter collection. And that's going to include the chipboards and the stencil for this collection. And in order to win this collection when the store launches, all you have to do is basically be a visible subscriber, somebody who's engaging in the videos, because that's how I'm going to be picking the winner or winners, because it could be more than one. And I'm going to go back into all of my videos and write everybody's names down. They have been a part of the live streams. The people that have been a part of the live streams are gonna get extra, most likely like extra, you know, nominations. And everybody that comments in the videos is gonna be answered. So this is gonna be super cool. And this is basically all that I do. I just kind of go in there and add paint, kind of like how I did last weekend's canvas. Just gonna go in there and kind of just add a whole bunch of layers of colors, and depending on what I feel I need, then I'll go in adding more. So I'm really excited about that. And this is super awesome. A whole new endeavor. And one that's gonna feed my creativity and hopefully feed the creativities of others as well. Because that's always the goal. And if you guys notice, I haven't been drawing in between. Like I said, I'm gonna be building up the colors in here. So I'm gonna let them kind of mix and mingle, even if they get a little darker. Just try not to go too much, you know, don't mix too much. Just try to stay in one direction and you won't overly mix your colors. After I've done this layer, I'm gonna dry a little bit and then proceed to add more so that I can still maintain some of these pretty colors that I have here. Thank you, thank you. I know I'm so excited. This has been a labor of love for sure. And I'm like super grateful that I have Angie here because I've gotten stuck so many times with the software and I'm like, oh, help me. And as much as I ask her, as many times as she helps me, she complains, but she does it. So I'm really super grateful for that because she saved me quite a couple of hours of breaking my head. Picking up all these little paint boogers. Such an ugly name for them, but that's what they are. Hey, this is thank you, Angie. Yes. Because if there's somebody that's a digital designer, here it's her. She's the one that does the digital art. Beautiful digital art as well. I played with the machine, but she really puts it to good use. All right, so let me dry that real quick so I can keep adding some layers. Acrylic paint dries really fast. I'm gonna have to fix the way that I have this thing connected because it shortens my cable. That should be good enough. Just a quick little dry. Just a quick little dry. We're gonna be adding some more colors in here. This one I'm gonna need to get myself a brush to add that one because that one's not gonna let me add it in. And this is Delicate. It's a chalky finish paint. And yes, my whole canvas is not painted yet. Right now, I'm just gonna add some breaks in the water. That's what I'm gonna call them anyway. Just gonna let that kind of just roll off my brush there. There's really no right or wrong way. That's what's so awesome about this kind of process is that there's really no right and wrong way to do it. You notice that you're putting down paint and it's mixing, you don't want it to mix, let it dry. And then you'll be okay. If you add it a little bit too much, let it dry and add a little bit more. That usually fixes the problem. Okay. Now a little bit more in the bottom. Then I'm gonna add more paint. I'm gonna add this this color like in layers. Let me move this over here. Remove my chipboards and my stencil over here. My little Pinto. Oh, and these are my trumpet. I don't know if I showed you guys my trumpet coral. That's what I call them, trumpet corals. I gave them like little mushroom heads. You can see that. And that's what I like. I like kind of like that whimsical-ish type of vibe. Like if you're gonna go cartoonish with me, you have to go cartoonish with me all the way. My brain has a hard time deciphering, so it needs to be one way. Yes, don't they? Yes, I'm so excited. I can't wait to see this whole thing together. Let me just hit this with a little bit of heat. Just a little bit goes a long way. So let me go back into this now with some more of, let me see what I want to add in here. Let me add, I love adding colors. I'm all about those layers. I'm all about adding layer upon layer upon layer of color. I'm not too worried or too concerned or even scared of mixing colors. Like that's really what I'm all about. If you see any of my projects, they usually have, I pull out everything under the kitchen sink just to get it going. And I work until I'm satisfied. So this color here is a Peacock Pearl. So I'm going to add a little bit of this in here. And I made sure that I washed all my brushes, well, mostly all of them. I'm going to bring this over the edge here. I'm just going to kind of lightly let that get on there. Make sure that I catch those edges. And this to me is like so relaxing. All I hear is Bob Ross the minute that I pick up a paintbrush in my hand. And it just puts me like in such a mellow mood. Have you ever watched those people that they can literally put you to sleep, and it's not because they're boring, it's just because their voice is so like soothing and comforting, and you just hear it, and you just, before you know it, you're like in the best sleep ever. That's what Bob Ross does for me. So like I'll put him sometimes late at night and just fall asleep watching him. Remembering the good old days, you know? The good old days of Bob Ross. I'm loving how this is looking, if you guys can see. I know the glare from my light sometimes doesn't allow you to see everything in its true complexity and nature, but yes, so therapeutic. I love it. I'm gonna add more black in here. And clean off paint boogers. Again, I wanted this to be a little darker. I don't mind the bright colors. I like them in there. But this is supposed to be like the bottom of the ocean. Something like that. Off in a scary planet. Well, to them it's home. To us it would be scary because we don't know anything about it. But hopefully you'll get to know a little bit more through my interpretation. And I think that's more than enough black. A little bit more blue. And then we're gonna work on the last layers that I'm gonna put up is gonna be the light colors again, like a little bit of yellow here and there. I'm gonna use this opportunity not to catch my edges. I always forget this part. I have so many canvases in my house that I've created that I don't paint around the edges. I've even given them like that. I'm like, hey, listen. It's about what's on top of the canvas, not what's around the canvas. I got my paper dirty. This one. I'm using this side. And this side I think got like a little paint burger got stuck on it. But that's okay because I'm gonna be coloring that paper in a little bit. I'm not gonna leave it the way it is. Make my bubbles with white acrylic paint. Oh yes, you can make markings with all different kinds of things. And the ends of pens and the pen caps, that's synonymous with mixed media. I think that's like one of the first things we learn how to use to create markings on our projects is a pen cap. A pen cap and bubble wrap. Anything to make those circles, right? Anything to make those circles. All right, so giving it a quick little heat blast. And right now it doesn't look like much. Right now it looks like a whole bunch of just bands of color everywhere. The magic comes in when you actually start adding the detail. Okay. So we're gonna go in and add our highlighter colors, which is gonna be the sea breeze, and then I'm using also this delicate, so like this pale kind of yellow and this pale kind of green, like a minty green. Where's my brush? Here it is. I'm a very messy crafter, but the projects always come out pretty good. Plenty of people pull their hair out when they watch me. It's almost like watching a thriller. Because I'll be ready to mess up real quick. And then out of nowhere, it just gets saved. Yes, love. So gather all pens, caps, anything that makes a circle. Anything that makes a circle is useful and can be a lifesaver in a pinch. And if you go on my channel and you look up art journaling 1, 2, 3, as in 1, 2, 3 the numbers, and you make it one word. Hello, Liz. How are you, love? And you make it one word. I actually have like 3 series that are part of like one series where I break down all different ways that you can do mixed media. I show you how to make stencils. I show you how to make the paste. I show you about collaging. If you want to do like collaging art journal, I show you the differences between that and regular art journaling. I go through all different types of surfaces, and like I do, you know, and I think that was like a live stream that I did, so it's like full real time. I think, don't quote me because that was a while ago. I have to get ready to do something similar to that again because it's been a while. So I'm trying to like blend this in. And we're going to have our area right here. This is where the entrance to our grotto is going to be. So this is going to be kind of like this, and we're going to use modeling paste with my stencil. So this is going to be kind of like that, I think. Yeah. So I'm going to glue the paper down first, and then I'm going to do the rest of it so that I can kind of like, you know, Circle the whole thing out, and then she's gonna be here. And this is Lula. So Lula's gonna be right there. We have Cosmo is gonna be somewhere around here, I believe. Because she's telling Cosmo to go in. She's like, go inside, Cosmo. That's enough playtime, okay? Go in. Come out tomorrow. But Cosmo's looking at her like, we don't have daylight or nighttime out here. We don't have a time. I want to play. I want to play. Thank you. Thank you. And then we'll just have like Pinto and Pinto's brothers just kind of laying all over the place. So he'll be all over the place. We'll have like little Pintos here and there. So it's got like a little bit of whimsical to it. My cup of tea for sure. Okay. So like I said, let me just put this back in place real quick so that I can kind of just see where I'm gonna need. Ooh, canvas is slippery today. So I'm just gonna do that and just kind of add those in there. And I do tend to get carried away, you guys. That is in my nature. That is in my nature, you guys. I'm so sorry. Let me just use the cap. So let me just add this little bit of sea breeze. Again, just to kind of break it. And I like to just let the paint kind of roll off the brush. So I use it kind of like to the side a little bit and not as if I'm trying to make definitive types of markings. I just let it kind of do what it wants to do. If I don't like it, that's the magic of paint, that you can paint over it. And you don't have to worry too much. I'm trying to put a little bit right here. I'll just kind of smooth that out. Just in case I leave any little rolls of paint on the canvas. I can kind of just smooth that out a little bit. So just adding little highlights to make it look like, you know, the water is moving, like there's some kind of movement happening here. A little bit of on this black. We don't need that completely dark like that. And that's what this is all about, you guys. Just relaxing, unwinding. At least that's what art is for me. It's a way to truly, truly escape the realities of this world and go into a whole new place where you can invent the story as it goes. Be your own narrator. All right, so I kind of like that. If I feel like it needs anything, I'll add it. If I feel like I need to intensify some things here and there, I'll go into it and just do that. Feel like I don't have enough going in this direction and that direction. That's okay. I'll fill that in a second. So let's go ahead and let me give this a quick little dry. And I'm thinking that the entry to the cave should be very shimmery and shiny. So I'm probably going to use some Galaxy glitter paint for that entry to kind of, you know, to make those stones look like glimmery little shiny stones. And that's how they have light all the way down there, because there's so many luminescent rocks and minerals and all kinds of fun stuff like that. So that's what we're gonna do. So for this guy right here, I'm gonna go ahead and distress it. Even though I don't think I need to default. Let me see. Let me see what I'm gonna do with this real quick. I think my best bet is to grab some gel medium. Just to grab some gel medium. Let me see where the words are. Okay. Just to grab some gel medium. I'm gonna grab a paintbrush. I'm gonna grab some black and I'm gonna give it a little wash, kind of like a wash around the edges so that it looks like it's going into shadow. So I'm gonna grab a little bit of this black. I don't have much. At least in this bottle, I don't have much. And I don't need much for this. And I'm gonna grab heavy gel medium because that's what I have available in front of me. And I'm just gonna mix that with that black. That should make it somewhat of a translucent color. Okay. And let me see. I have a circle here. Maybe I can use this to kind of not take too much of it off. So you see how light that is, how translucent that is? You can still see all the word. Well, you can't see it from that angle where you are, but you can mostly see the words still in the background. And if it's still too dark for you, then you can just kind of, whatchamacallit, add more glue to it and it'll become lighter. So I'm just gonna kind of bring this around. Actually, I don't think I need the circle. I can probably handle this. I've been doing so much drawing with that tablet that my fingers, sometimes I get off of my desk and my hands are stiff. I'm like, oh my God. So I've been doing a lot of this lately. So it should be no problem. A little bit more, right? And I'm gonna add a little bit more. Make it just a little bit lighter. And at the same time, this kind of gives that surface protection. So we'll still be able to see what's happening on in the background. But it's kind of darkened out a little bit. It's so inviting and so scary at the same time. It's like, no, no me lleve para las cuevas, please. I don't want to go inside the cave. And if you don't speak Spanish, that's what I said. Don't take me inside the cave. Let's see. Just kind of adding that in there. Just gonna pull that glue. We're gonna give this a quick little blast. I was kind of doing that. What did I hit that with? That I got? I must have tapped it with something. I'm gonna have to add something there to hide that little schmutz. Little schmutz. Is it from me touching with my finger? Maybe. Maybe. Okay. So let me go ahead and dry that really quickly. Let me put this in water. You gotta do that real quick. Now I'm gonna go ahead and grab me some. Let's see, where are you? It's black, no, it's black. So this one? Yeah, a little bit of this one. I'm gonna use a little bit of faded jean, and I'm gonna blend a little bit of faded jean over the edges. And that's just to kind of bring a little bit of what's happening on the outside. On the inside, make it look like there's water flowing somewhere around there. So that's basically what we're gonna do. That also helps to take some of that shine off of it. This is really glossy. Okay, I like that. Now let me just grab some black, but I don't have black with that, so I'm gonna use my regular distress, not my regular archival in black. Just kind of do the same thing. Just add a little bit of that black in there, especially around those outer edges where it's supposed to be darker. Put this over. By the time I'm done, I won't know what's up and what's down, but if you can see it up close, you can still see, I don't know if you guys can make it out, but you can still see the text. It's kind of glossy now, but I'll show you guys later on when I take the pictures. You're still able to see the text on there. Which side was I doing? Oh, this side. Now I don't want to cover the whole thing up, but I do want to cover up around these edges. So now we have our little makeshift grotto entrance, right? Our little cave entrance. Now I don't know if I'm going to use the whole circle, if I'm going to use part of it. I might use part of it and just cut off a section. We'll see how that kind of goes. Let me give this a quick little heat blast again. Okay. And that was basically more than anything to set the ink. Looking nicely, looking nicely. Okay, let's put this to the side. I'm going to start building this part of it first, and then we'll start working all the extra embellishments. So right now we're going to work with my stencil. Yay! So exciting. So exciting. Which way is up? This way is up. So this is going to be the beginning, well, the entry to the cave. It's already looking like a mystical place, a mystical entrance. And again, this is deep, deep down in the ocean, which is why you see so many different colors, because there's different currents of water splashing into each other. That's what I tell myself. That's how I keep it all sane, you guys. That's how I keep it all sane. So I'm going to glue this baby down, right? Might as well. I'm going to glue her down. And then we're going to get the stenciling. And I'm so excited about every single one of the, so far, every single one of the pieces that I've created for this Jupiter collection, I am in love with. I am in love with. And I'm not somebody that follows trends or, you know, let's say it's Easter, so do bunny stuff. Like, that's I don't really flow that way, you guys. So you won't really find trending, you know, things most likely when they're trending. You might find them before they become a trend, or you might find them after. But I'm not so sure how that's gonna unfold just yet. But the goal is to create things to create with all year round. So hopefully I more than cover that. Everything is trying to fall on me. Okay, so this is up. Yep. I think that's where I want it. This is where I'm going to be placing my stencil. I need this to be a little bit down. That's good right there. That's good right there. Just put this face down and just run the squeegee through it. Okay. I want this as flat as possible. Now what I'm going to do here to this area actually is I'm going to run some black. Where's the, there it is. I think I could have the world's most giant desk and I still won't have enough room, you guys. The stencil is the entrance to a cave. So I'm calling it the entrance to the grotto. But yes, it's supposed to be like the entrance to a cave. But you can use it in many ways. You can use it singularly. You can double them up by putting them, you know, one on top, one on the bottom, which is what I was originally thinking to do. I still might do that. I'm not sure. I'm going to go ahead and grab some paint and just add some black paint around the outside of my circle there. Just so that I kind of have that a little bit darkened up. So when I add my stencil in there, they kind of blend. So I'm going to do this beforehand so I don't have to worry about doing this after. And since I'm doing the whole thing, it looks like I most likely will be using, I forgot that I was going to cut it in half, but it's okay. I think it might look better that way anyway. So I'm just going to do this and just kind of get that perimeter around there kind of going. And then just soften that up on the inside of the circle. That's just so that it kind of blends. More so that way. Yeah, it's like a stone entrance. Yes. And yes, it does kind of look like coral. But I made coral for this piece, actually. I call them trumpet corals. And this is what I designed for it, which they're going to go somewhere in the bottom. There's these little pieces right here. I have to kind of cut them up. I mean, not cut them up, clean them up a little bit. And they're going to kind of go somewhere in the bottom. So this is going to go like this. And I have to be ever so gingerly with this. I'm going to be looking into other types of stencils, stencil materials moving forward as this becomes, you know, a different situation. I'm thinking about, I would really like to have sticky stencils. So I'm going to be looking into getting sticky stencils. So I'm thinking, I don't know what I'm thinking. Let's see. Do I want to use this one or do I want to use the other one? Let me see where my other one is. This is heavy gel. Where is my paste? Heavy gel, paste right here. Yes. Because I really do prefer a sticky stencil 9 times out of 10 over a regular stencil. But that's just my preference. I know not everybody, you know, likes that like that. But it is my preference always to have a sticky stencil because I can, when I lay it down, I know that it's not moving anywhere. And for something this intricate, you definitely, it would be beneficial for me and for whoever's using it to have it sticky, but we'll see. We're gonna work with what we got for now, and then we'll figure out the rest later. So let's see. Oh my goodness, you guys, oh my goodness, this is so scary. All right, all right. Let's see. I'm just gonna do this. And I'm actually gonna let it kind of go over the stencil area so that I can create more texture of rock around it, as opposed to being confined to like a, you know, predefined space. I mean, I'm confining you with the arch, but just because there's no stenciling area on the outside doesn't mean you can add texture paste or you can add other things to the outside. So this is what we're gonna do. And here, okay, let's add some more. And I wanted the grotto itself because it was part of a sea themed you know, collection, because it's part of a sea themed collection. I wanted this to kind of also have that look of, like, you know, those little openings in some of those corals and some of those other sea lives that they have, like that Swiss cheese kind of appearance to them. So I wanted it to look kind of like that, because it could also be that she took giant pieces of those and made this. So basically the story is whatever you would like to make it. And I like to create little stories for my characters, for my journal pieces, for my art in general. I like to give it a purpose by creating some kind of a narrative that kind of goes with it, a kind of story, giving them a purpose. I think it helps my mind to remember more about the piece that I created because it has a story to go with it. So again, I'm just gonna add a little bit of that also on the outside. And I was gonna use my DIY gesso for this. I probably should have done that, to be honest with you, than to use this clear one, but we're gonna see how it's gonna all look. And I'm adding a little bit on the outside as well. Again, I wanted it to have a little bit of like a lift, like texture here and there. Okay, let me lift this baby. Oh my goodness, you guys, the piece de la resistance. Viva la crafts. This is the time. I hope so. Oh my, I can't wait for this video. Yes. So to hold the stencil down. What do you mean to hold the stencil down, Ada? I'm gonna just use a tool to pick it up. And then I'm gonna lay it down on the other side and do the same thing. And this is a see-through modeling paste. I might have to pick some of this up so that I can fit her in. Let's see, right there, oh, right there, right there. That'll work. Okay, does I have to move to hold stencil now? Yeah, that's what I was saying, that I really want to I'm gonna start looking into getting the material to you know, the sticky stencil sheets. So when I cut them out, I cut them out on some sticky stencil backing, so you guys can reuse them over and over again. Or if I don't do that, I do have a DIY for making your stencils sticky. It's what I tend to use when I want to make my stencil reusable in that way. and it's Stick It Over and Over by Aleene's. I don't know if you guys know what that is. But it's a glue. Let me see if I find it. I'll show you guys on Saturday what it is if you guys don't know what it is. But it's Aleene's Stick It Over and Over glue. And that's literally what it's called. It's called Stick It Over and Over. And it's a tacky glue that it's basically, you can put some on, you can brush some on the back, let it dry, and then you can use them all over the place. Lift them up, put them back down. I'm still thinking I'm going to incorporate the stairs into this, but we'll see how it's going to all look a little different than I had originally imagined, but I think it'll still look really nice nonetheless. Then once this is all dry, I'm going to go over this with some of the clear, how I did earlier, the translucent black. I'm going to fill the rest of this outside with the translucent black. Then I'm going to add some other colors over this on top. And again, I'm coming out of the stencil. This is one of those that it's okay to do because it's supposed to be like the entrance to something. So you're not just going to have a hole out of nowhere. It needs to be attached to something. So this kind of helps it to be grounded if you extend the modeling paste a little bit outward. And since this is a little short on this side, because again, these are hand drawn, you guys. So this is not like perfection. I didn't use like measuring tools and whatnot to make sure that this side is exactly 30 degrees from that side. Like this is all me having fun and creating and hoping to inspire you all as well. And we all have different, different things that float our boats, if you will. So that's that for that. Gonna lift this up. Then I gotta clean this baby out. Let's put that right there for now. I like that stencil material though. It's nice and thick. Now I'm gonna try to dry this out. I'm gonna dry it out as much as I can. Girl, I'm clumsy too. And one thing that I hate about stencils is when you're stenciling and it goes under the stencil. On a canvas, that is so easy to do because it flexes. Oh my God. I hate that. I really, really do. Yeah. Take the thing. Oh my God. Thank you. Wow. Thank you, Liz. Wow. What a beautiful surprise. I didn't even know you could do that. Oh my goodness. Girl, you got me blushing here from ear to ear. Thank you kindly. Listen, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Hugs and kisses, hugs and kisses. I wish I could send you, like, put a little heart right there for you. So what do you guys think? Can you guys see where this is kind of going? It's gonna look even better once I you know, add all the other stuff. So I'm gonna leave this kind of be for a little bit. I'm gonna put this to the side so that I can start working on my other pieces. But this is what it's looking like so far. I love it. Oh my God, you guys. Oh, I don't want to cry. I don't want to cry. Oh my God. I love it. Yeah, let that dry. So now we're going to work on the other stuff so that I don't take up too much. But oh my goodness. So these are, this is Lula. And we have Pinto, which we're going to be painting as well. So we have quite a few things to kind of paint here and get together. Let's put that there. My desk is a hot mess already. Thank you. I'm so excited. Yes, well, that's going to be to add more chipboards and stuff like that for sure. So thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. And we also have, these are my trumpet corals. And I wanted them to look a little bit different, you know, a little bit more me. And I always, you know, I'm always adding like the little something or the other. So to this, when I created them, I didn't want them to just be plain. And I found it kind of hard to, not found it hard, but I was kind of like playing around with like adding different things to it. And it started to look like a whole bunch of strangled octopuses to me. So I was like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe if I just put one at the top. So that's basically what I did to keep it somewhat simple and just have something different when it comes to the coral. Because we're always doing the same kind of coral. Yes, I'm so excited. And then Pinto, because I couldn't take the Spanish out of me. Something had to be named Pinto, and it wasn't going to be the beans. So Pinto beans is actually my favorite. Okay, so I'm just trying to pop these little things here. Like I said, I was doing this, like literally I was going live and I was like screaming out the machine, hurry up, please, I'm going live, hurry up. And it literally finished like 2 minutes before I had to go live. So I didn't really have a chance to prep the chipboards and get them off of their bases. So I did that kind of like while I was starting to stream. So just bear with me, you guys. I have a few little sizes, and the smaller they get, the harder it is to take the stuff out of them sometimes. So this is all part of the same kit. So you're gonna have her, and let me just show you real quick. There's other pieces, there's other parts to this collection as well that I've done, because Cosmo shows up again. We have quite a few pieces, you guys. We have quite a few pieces. But I'm gonna give you a quick little share of this one. I'm not gonna use this one just yet, but we also have Cosmo. This is a hand. And Cosmo's being held basically, you know, by the hands. So that's another piece is going to be going in there. So I got a whole bunch of little things. Like I said, I'm working, you guys. I'm trying to get this store up and ready with at least a few designs. And I'm trying to make sure that I have enough material to comply once I do get that kind of going. So let me just keep doing this. Yes, I told my kids, I'm like, I'm gonna need you guys to help me, like, punch paper out and, you know, all of that good stuff. And they're like, all right. But, you know, they didn't say it with a smile. They're like, all right. Hello, Cindy. Welcome, welcome. Today, I'm just sharing my latest chipboard designs. And I'm creating a canvas with them. So right now I'm just cleaning out the rest of the elements. Not really quite sure how many of these I'm going to be needing, but I want to make sure that I have quite a few and that I have them in different directions. So I did kind of mirror them so that they're kind of going in different directions. because I know we don't always work in one side or the other. So I wanted to make sure that I had, you know, and these fishes have kind of like a spacey theme to them because the whole thing is Jupiter. And even though I know Jupiter is not a water planet, I didn't do it because it was a water planet. I did it because of this grandiose nature. And because of the movie Jupiter, Jupiter Rising. I like that movie, Jupiter Rising. I thought it was pretty cool. If anybody's seen that movie. And the girl in that movie, her name was Jupiter. Oh, then you've come to the right place, my friend, because a good 65% of my projects are sea themes. I love, love, love the sea. Anything and everything sea related. And these are just something that I designed and created because of my love of the sea. All right, so I think that's it. I got one piece of coral. I need at least another one because I gotta put that there. I don't think I'm gonna use all these other little fishes. So that's why the fishes look a little bit different. They, you know, they kind of have like a Jetsons meets, I don't know, something. It's kind of like a little crossover. And I gave him the little ball on the nose because he's got to see. He's all the way in the bottom of the ocean and there's no light down there. So he's got his own little reflective light bulb right on the tip of his nose. And there's a fish that actually does that. It has like a little thing that dangles in the front. Oh, you like the seahorse? Yes, that's Cosmo. That's the seahorse's name. His name is Cosmo. And he's interconnected to all of the elements around him because of these little connections that he's got going on. I don't necessarily know quite what to call them. Space fish. Yes, right? Something new, something different. And you don't necessarily have to use them as space fish, but that is how they were designed. That's another thing that I love to draw is like outer space type of scenes. You know, I love drawing like spaces and time, not spaces, there's only one space, but like outer space, and I like drawing planets, and I love the moon. And I never get the colors of my planets right, but I just love being able to mix all the different colors in there. Okay, one more little nugget right here. And then we're going to start kind of figuring out how we want this. I made my corals so that they kind of mirror each other, but they're not identical to each other. After I've gotten everything together, then I have to figure out the logistics of everything. But this is kind of like how it goes. This is actually the same one, I think. No. So you see that they're different. Like this one has a little peak there. This one doesn't have it. So they're different, but they come. You're gonna get these two in one set. They're gonna be a little bit different. Add a little bit of something extra to your piece. Okay. So like I said, I'm gonna be layering these mermaids, which is why I cut out two. And I did punch out the area that is for you to create some highlight into the tail. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint that light first so that I can go ahead and put that down. And I think I'm going to paint that with some gold. Electric Circus Seahorse. Oh, I like that name. Jetsons meets SeaWorld. Yes, totally. I love that because that's kind of like how my mind kind of is in a way. Like it's a little bit, you know, a little all over the place. So let's see. Let me go ahead and grab me a brush and try to clean it up. And now we're going to start painting some of these things. I'm not going to gesso it. Honestly, I think I'm just going to go over it just as it is. But I will always recommend to you, if you're using it for a mixed media piece, that you go ahead and you prep those chipboards. By prep, I mean either seal them with some glue or seal them with some gesso so that when you're using them, you know, as you're adding your sprays, this, that, and the third, they don't become warped. It'll hold better for you in the long run. So I'm just going to cover this piece right here because this is really all that I need. It's just these little sections right here. And I'm going to try to glue them in the back so that it doesn't pop out. Hopefully it won't pop out. I tried not to put any pressure on them so that they stay right in place. So I'm gonna add a little bit of that gold, and then I'm gonna actually add a little bit of white, and I'm gonna use this heavy body. I'm gonna use this right here, since you're not gonna really see that. And I'm just gonna add a little bit of white here and there on that tail. And again, these are the areas that are to create like the highlights on the tail for you. And now we're gonna go ahead and dry that up and glue her down. Thank you, thank you. And wait till you see her stencil. If I didn't mention that earlier, oh my goodness. She's gonna have her very own stencil, and that stencil is redonkulous. Redonkulous, even if I do say so myself. See, for me, I have to fall in love with like what I'm doing. Like I have to fall in love with the pieces that I'm using. I have to fall in love with the creation, or I kind of like, eh. And if I cross that moment, then I'll just put it to the side, and then later on, eventually, I'll, I have to finish it because I have OCD, so I end up having to finish it anyway. But for the most part, like I just lose it. But when I'm dealing with stuff like this, like right now, oh my goodness, you guys, it just helps me to kind of like fall in love all over with crafting and mixed media and everything all together. I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna let glitter fall into these little pieces here, and I'm gonna brush that glue over, because I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of glitter into those crevices. So I'm just gonna go ahead and brush that glue over. I'm just gonna use this brush to kind of spread that glue out. And we don't need to saturate the piece with glue. You basically want to make sure that her things that are like her fingers, her hair, anywhere that you have like that little curl, that you have that nicely glued down. So all the little whips, the little curls. Oh yes, we're gonna add some glitter. We have to add some glitter. They need light down there. There's no light down there. They live on a water world that doesn't see the sun. So they have to create their own sunshine. Okay. Is this glue drying on me? Like I haven't even stuck the piece and it's drying on me. Wait. Wait for me, Argentina, por favor. Wait for me. Now I gotta like brush this on really, really fast and then like stick this thing on there. Really, really fast. So let me go ahead and do that. Make sure that I level her hands properly. Then I'm gluing these down, because I still have to add my glitter to that. Let me grab me that one. I just need this drying up. Hello, hello, Monica. Hello, Tanya. How are you, love? I'm just here showcasing my latest design. It's going to be available in my store. This is Lula. Just want to make sure that I have glue in here because I'm about to add some glitter into this. I don't want to add glitter to the top of it, so I'm trying not to get glitter into those areas there. Okay, so I have, where is my glitter? I saw it like 2 seconds ago. Where did I put it? Oh, right here. I keep glitter in here, but this is Deco Art glitter. It's not Stampin' Up glitter. And I just want to just add a little bit of glitter in here. Whatever it catches. Like, I'm not going to worry too much about it. Didn't capture the entire thing. Once it's all dries, it's going to dry somewhat clear because I did add a little bit of white over that. And we have gold happening in there already. So I think for the most part, we got most of what we need. So what I'm going to do is just brush that right into that little spot. Brush that glitter right in there. And kind of just pat that in. And now I need a piece of paper. I never have a piece of paper when I need one. You would think I would be surrounded by paper all the time, but I'm not. Well, maybe I am. I know. I hate working with glitter too, but sometimes you just need that sparkle, you know? And there's only one way that you're gonna get it. So, already? You guys see it already? It's coming, it's coming. Yes. Okay. Let's put that back. And now we're going to start basically, well, let me finish fixing her hair because otherwise I'm going to end up messing the whole thing up. Let me just finish gluing her hair out. Let me use a brush again. Leave Pinto right there. It's not Pinto's turn yet. I'm not doubling up the other ones. I'm only doubling her up because her and Cosmo are the center piece for this whole thing. So I'm only going to really be doubling her up. And I'll make sure that when I do start selling these and packaging these, because I know how fragile they can be, I will be making sure that they are well protected on their flight and that they will have safe and happy travels. Just sticking it all down. Ta-da! And now she's got a little bit more thickness to her. And you can add as many layers as you want. That's up to you. Smack the tail. Yes. But imagine getting smacked by one of these things. Like, oh my God. That would be so painful, I think. So we're going to start to paint her in. So to kind of get her started, I'm just going to kind of start painting her white, I believe, is what I'm going to do. Let me see. Do I have a... Yes, I do. I'm going to start with this Whisper White. It's like an off-white kind of like an eggshell-ish. A little bit lighter than this yellow. But I'm just going to give her like a whole base. And then we'll start adding more of the details into it as we move forward. This is kind of like how I avoid gessoing things. I don't even know if this paint is good, actually. Let's see. a little chunky in there. The chalky paint always gets chunky, I noticed. So we're just gonna start kind of giving her a preliminary coating. This is gonna help too, and I'm very messy. So hopefully you're not gonna have a cringe moment. Thank you, my friend. Oh, I put some on the glitter. No, no glitter, no. Give me that back. I'll just add more later. I should have done that after. Learn from my mistakes. Glitter last. Not first, especially when you paint like I paint. I'm gonna do that and just give it a rough little top coat, just to have the whole thing kind of covered up. This is something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. And I decided the beginning of this year, before any of this even happened with everything that's going on in the world right now, that this year was going to be my year to do what I've been wanting to do. And I was not going to let anything stop me from getting on that. So I've been working really hard, you guys. Hopefully you will enjoy what I'll be sharing with you all, and you find yourself inspired, because that's definitely my #1 goal, is that you find yourself inspired, and then you look at it and you say, I can do that. Because let me tell you, yes you can. Yes you can. So let's see. So I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna finish this tail off and then do the other ones. The other ones are a little bit easier because it's just, I don't have to worry about the area that I added glitter. So I got ahead of myself. So I'm just gonna do that. And I hope everybody's staying safe. And please continue to pray for Sason's mom. We do greatly appreciate it. She's currently being taken care of, so we definitely appreciate you guys' prayers. We're not out of the woods just yet. Still have a little ways to go. Well, she's hanging in there. She's that lady. She's a fighter. That lady. She's a trooper. And this will not be like any other. This will not be fought any less than any other battle that she's fought. So she's fighting him. But she told me, she's like, this thing kicks your behind. She said after everything that she's been through doesn't compare to this. This has been the worst that she's ever had to go through, she said. So that scares the bejesus out of me, honestly, because with everything that she's endured and survived already and had to go through to survive, and for her to say that this is worse than that, I was like, oh no. Okay, we put her there to dry. There's Paint Cosmo. So yeah, I'm petrified. Honestly, I'm petrified. And not even so much for me, but for like my mom, my son, you know, for them more than anything. But I'm petrified. Oh my God, why does it flash like that? Did you guys see it? It flashes. Yeah, you see it because I'm watching it from the phone. I don't know why it does that. I'm thinking that maybe it's because there's a lot of people on YouTube right now, probably live. But it's really weird. Yes, thank you. And you could hear it in her voice, like she can barely talk. Like she's always been a very soft-spoken lady, but hearing her like that was just heartbreaking, honestly. And I'm praying for everybody, everybody. The ones that got it and the ones that don't got it, because that's no joke. All right. So again, this is just to give it a quick little coat. I just wanted to have something there for me to start off with. Again, not necessary. If you want to gesso them, you can gesso them. That's just what I'm choosing to do. I'm not in any rush, you guys. We don't got nowhere to go. So we got nowhere to go. And this is Pinto, my little fish. Pinto the fish. That's literally his name, Pinto the fish. And we have again this Jetsons meets SeaWorld type of vibe with quirky little characters like my little Pinto and some characters that you would kind of recognize, like the seahorse. Well, you would recognize it for a seahorse, but you've never seen a seahorse like that, I'm sure. You have now, though. All right, so let's see. Making sure which direction they're going. And it's funny because I don't tend to create very much with whimsical things unless I'm the one that's creating the whimsical thing, if that makes any sense. So like I'm not the type to like buy like whimsical stamps and stuff like that. But I will create me something weird real quick. Yeah, there's a lot of people on the net right now. This is no joke. These people are not playing games. Everybody's on there playing games, watching somebody live or watching videos, catching up on all the news presses and news release. I'm almost scared to turn the TV on anymore because it's like every time it's something different or worse. I want somebody to let me know when they give the good news that things are getting better so I can watch. All right. So almost there, you guys. Almost there. I have a whole bunch of little Pintos because I cut out a whole bunch of them. I just made them different sizes. All right, and let's do this coral. Again, this coral is gonna go kind of like that. So just gonna give it that preliminary and then start adding some color in here. And I have to see what kind of colors I'm gonna be painting these coral in. Any suggestions? Oh yeah, I mean, listen, we got Facebook. Facebook is constantly putting stuff up. YouTube is constantly putting stuff up. I can't refresh my home feed without a new video coming out. So I want to know what's going on, but it's just, you know, I'm just waiting for the things to change is what I'm trying to say. Obviously, I'm going to keep watching. I just can't wait for that moment where they say, hey, you guys, you can run free through the streets again. No more masks needed. Again, when I sell these to you guys, I'm going to be taking my time. I'm not just going to rip them off the cardboard like I did today, trying to get myself started. I was running so late. I was just like, hurry up. I was pushing them all out. Okay. I think that's pretty good, pretty good. All right, so here we go. Okay. I had somebody write in one of my videos, you say here we go a lot. I was like, yeah, I'm trying to get myself going. I'm trying to get myself motivated to keep going. So I say yeah a lot. And here we go. And I always say that's my buffer word. And we all have buffer words, right? That's just kind of what comes out when the mind draws a blank. All right, so here we go, here we go. All my pieces are painted. At least, you know. Now we're gonna figure out what colors we're actually gonna want this stuff to be. So let me clean out this little area real quick. My canvas is drying nicely, hopefully. Yes, thank you, I appreciate it. Yours is unbelievable. Yes. Okay, so let me find a brush. Let's find the brush. Then we can so what color scheme, you guys? Oh my goodness. What color scheme for the mermaid? This is almost dry. It's getting there. But it's still milky. If you can still see it, it's not all the way dry. Some bits are dry, but not all bits are dry. So she's gonna be somewhere like this. So we have here a few colors, a few oceany colors. So should I make her like a bright, like reddish? Let's see. I've made a couple blue tails lately, so I don't really want to do another blue one. Let's see. Maybe I'll do it with some rouge. Maybe add a little bit of color to this one today. So some rouge, green, blue, green, teal, yellow, maybe. Red and orange. Yes. I love red hair. It reminds me of Little Mermaid. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna start with a little bit of this rouge. 2 drops of that. And I'm gonna just start adding it to the tail, and then we'll see kind of where it all goes. I'm gonna paint that in, then I'll add the details of, you know, the texture of the tail, so on and so forth. I'll do that later. But right now, I just want to add the colors in. And I want to make sure that I capture that edge, because after I put that other one in and I went to go do the edges, I was like, oh man, I should have done that first. So I'm going to make sure that I get these edges. And this is a chalky finish paint, so it's going to be matte. Rainbow, no, I don't know about the rainbow. The rainbow might be a bit much for me. But I get close, though. I get close. I do get close. I'm not going to lie. Even I sometimes don't know what the heck my brain is talking about or what it's doing. I just let it go. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna sit here and watch. Oh, red is your favorite? I love red too. I love red too, but green is my favorite though. And that. Again, I have to kind of make sure that I do these edges. Just because since it's a little thicker, it is gonna show. And you don't want to see chipboard color on the side there. So you can either paint this a solid like black or whatever color you're gonna use, or edge up your corners with ink, however you want to do it, but I do recommend that you edge it up. And then we're gonna grab some metallic colors because you know, baby girl has to have some metallic colors on her because I love me some metal. So we're just gonna do that. Right. And I could sit here and paint all day. I know you guys don't have all day to watch somebody paint, but I could sit here and paint all day. But we're gonna try to pick it up a little bit. Soon. Okay, so that's her tail. Now I'm gonna dry brush some other colors on here. First thing I'm gonna pick up is a little bit of this black. And I want it dry. I wanted almost nothing there. I'm gonna create under her tail. And I'm just pushing outward, basically is what I'm doing. I'm just trying to create that shadowy kind of texture there. And I'm pushing in. And this is to just kind of generate the movement or create the illusion of this movement here, right? Coming together? I'll lose Carmen Agnews, and so just what? Who said what? That's all I was about to say. No, like I think that song just color the tail and add glitter. Oh, so just color the tail and leave all of this glitter ice. Ooh, yes, that'll save me time. Good idea, my friends. Good idea. So I'm gonna keep adding some of this black because I'm trying to get all of these little grooves, right? So I basically created her with the idea that there were these ripples in her tail, you know, as it kind of, she's kind of laying it there. So we have all of these ripples kind of like in her tail. So this is supposed to kind of help you to kind of add some of those things in there. Why does it flash like that? It looks like it's something like it's sending out an SOS signal. Like Morse code with the video. I don't know if you guys see that, but it's I see it over here. All right, so again, oops, and you don't want it too dark. You just want to lightly kind of just add that in there. Lightly add that in there. I figured I would add the dark first before I go in and add the highlighted, you know, the metallics. Those are more like highlighters. So I'm gonna add the detail, or the texture, I should say, with the brush. It looks like a giant lung. It looks like a flower, okay? You have to unravel it. No lung, no lung. Although, you know, I can kind of see what you're talking about, but hey. Okay. You know, I have to add some glitter to her, so I'm gonna use this red nebula. And do we want to add some teal to her tail with the red? Do we want teal and red? Do we want that, or do we want like gold, or do we want teal? I kind of like her tail the way it looks like that. Thank you, thank you. So like when I designed these chipboards, I designed them with kind of like that in mind to help me, to make it easy for me. So hopefully that makes it easier for me to know like, okay, you need to add something here, something goes there, then hopefully it'll also be as easy for you. And with me doing like these demos where I'm showing you how I use them, hopefully it'll help you to see that it's not as hard, that you can definitely do it. Her tail looks perfect. Okay. So then maybe just add a little bit of this glitter in here then. And this is Red Nebula Galaxy Glitter by Deco Arts. You guys knew from the moment that I got that paint that I was going to fall in love with that paint the same way that I fell in love with the Dazzling Metallics. These are two products that I'm in love with. Obviously, my Dazzling Metallics is always going to be number one. But these do not fall that far behind. I love the chunkiness of it. And you could, you know, probably achieve this with just about anything. So the same way that I did with the pins, I'm putting everything from the edges. So I'm pushing everything from the edges out, from the out in. And that's kind of how I'm applying this as well. From out in. And I'll do the same with the other side. And I'll do the same. Like that. And this is transparent. All you really, the color that you see is from all the glitter that is in there. Overall, it's really transparent, so you'll still be able to see the black. You'll still be able to see all the other little details that I added in there, which, as you guys saw, I didn't have to do much to make this tail come to life. I really didn't have to do all too much to it to give it, you know, give it that little something, something special. I'm not going to put it all in the center because I wanted to have like a little bit of matte into it as well. So I'm not going to fill in the whole entire thing. And then with the tail, I'm going to kind of do this and do this. And then just kind of bring it out from the top down. And again, I'm not going to really be too worried about covering the entire surface of it. I think I have more than enough happening here for you to see. And I like the fact that I have a big surface. Again, so important for me to have a nice surface to work on. And sometimes with some of the dies and stuff like that, they're so small, the designs are so small that it's really hard for a person like me to decorate them properly. Because I like putting a lot of layers in one. Sometimes when it's so tiny, there's only but so much you can handle. So it makes it a little bit harder. And then her hair in red, right? But everything covered in glitter. So with that natural, that I call it the natural highlight, that I added into that space, that cavity that you can remove. You can actually put it back in place if you remove it gingerly enough. You can put it, you can color it, whatever color you're gonna color it, like you can color it lighter, and then just glue it back in place. If you want to do that, or you can leave it completely out and put some paper behind it. You can do that as well. Many different ways that you can use that. I love it. Oh my God. I'm so in love with my little collection right now. I really, really am. So for the hair, we're gonna do red, right? We're gonna basically cover her hair red as well. So for her hair, I have to kind of figure out where her hair kind of goes from. And I hope to one day be able to actually make these, you know, stamps and everything too, but we gotta walk before we gotta crawl before we walk, right? So right now we're in the crawling stage. We'll see how it all unfolds. But hope do expect for there to be more than just chipboards. I'm not just gonna sell chipboards. I'm gonna sell other things as well. And I don't mean other things as in products from other makers or other things like that. I don't foresee myself doing that. I don't want to close myself off, but I don't foresee that happening in the near future. Basically, I'm gonna be focusing on things that I create, designs that I personally make myself. And I will also most likely be putting up like artwork and things that I've made, like demos that I've made and things like that. There's only but so much stuff you can store, you guys. So basically that's what's going to be in the storefront. It's going to be all things made by me, Elemental Designs. And like I said, I have the domain name already, but I don't want to give it out until I have the store ready. I don't want you guys to end up in a place and it says parked. You're going to be like, what the heck? It's not quite ready yet. I have to fix some coding and some things, and I have to properly take the proper pictures of these things, and I have to watermark them and just do a whole bunch of stuff to them. So it does take quite a few steps. So for those of you, my friends, that want to get your hands on these right now, I do apologize for the delay in that department, but I will try to get them in your hands as soon as possible. Okay. I kind of like the distressed look of her hair going out on that end, but I'm going to fix it just a little bit. So let me dry my brush, even though I haven't wet it, but I like to remove any little excess paint that's there. I'm just going to define that a little bit more. What a tease, Carmen. No, I'm not trying to tease you guys. Mostly it's because I can't help myself. Like, I'm so like, oh my God, I got to do something with it. So it really, I'm bringing them out, not so much to tease you, but because I can't contain myself because I want to use them. And I can't use them without showing them to you guys. So I'm kind of stuck in a little catch-22 there. All right, so I'm going to add a little bit of that black just to kind of give the smallest inclination of hairs. If I feel like I added too much, I'll go back into it and take it off. I'm just gonna add a little bit of black, whatever kind of comes off the brush there. Too much of that black went on there. I'm gonna glitterize her whole body, Tanya. Add yellow or orange highlights. Look at you guys. Add a little bit of gold, you mean? Because that's my yellow. A little bit of gold, maybe. I don't know if the gold's gonna show up too much, but we're gonna try it. We're gonna try it. I'm gonna just grab the flat. I'm gonna lay the brush flat. And just pick up whatever I can pick up. I'll add some more of the red back in. I took a lot of that red out. I like it though. Then a little bit of the red. Okay. So now that we've done that, I don't know about the pink, Cindy. Maybe on the next one. I don't know about the pink so much. What I am going to do, though, I am going to glitterize my friend over here. So in order to do that, I need to grab me. This is what I like to use. This is a champagne color. This is not it. What is the color that I used the last time? Please don't tell me it's the last color on the pile. Frost white. I'm looking for the champagne. Sorry, you guys. It's got to be all the way in the bottom, right? Burnished brass. Gold rush, that's not it. Where the heck did I put it? A little bit of rose gold, maybe, on her skin. There goes the champagne. So a little bit of rose gold, maybe, on the skin for that little pinky, pinkish tone, maybe. Oh my God, there it goes with the distress signal. The video with the distress signal. Whoever's watching this afterwards, sorry. All right, so we have some rose gold. These are metallic luster paints. My paints are always dry. I can literally pick it up, but I don't throw it out because I can still use it. All it needs is a little bit of water and a little bit of patience, and voila. So I'm gonna grab some dirty water here because my water is dirty from cleaning up the black. And I'm just gonna pick this up. And this is the rose gold, which kind of looks like champagne. This is gonna be a little bit more on the tan side because it's got a little hint of black in it. Just the littlest hint from the water not being so clean. But we're gonna go ahead and do this. I don't really like that red outline on her hair. It looks to me like her hairline is inflamed. And I don't like it too much. So I'm gonna change that up probably and add some black. Now, what's really cool about this wax particularly is that once I use it, I can totally use my Faber-Castell markers over it. And it creates a non-porous surface. So I can actually add some dimensions, some highlights here and there with some of that, which I'm going to do right now. I love how that tail came out. Give her a deep red streak in the hairline of Myra. If she was front, like if she was facing the front, that would totally look cool, I think. But I think that because she's on a side angle, it's gonna kind of get lost because I'm only gonna be able to do it from up there. So it's gonna look like I'm outlining her hair. At least that's how I'm picturing it right now. So I'm thinking with the black, right? Let me look for a teeny little brush. Just kind of do that. And just add a little bit of detail into her hair. And I'm just kind of feathering it out. I feel like I added too much paint, and I'll just spread it out. What about the bodice area? This area here. So for this area here, I can basically do anything I want to this. I can paper piece something and add something there, or I can draw it in. It really, you can basically do anything for that area there. We could leave a stark naked, like we can basically do whatever we want. You guys have any ideas? What would you like to see? Paper piecing or? And really, I'm just trying to cover up all these little redded areas here. And I do have to kind of pick up the pace because it's getting late. And I'm still painting her. I thought I would be at the other pieces by now. Now, obviously, on the bottom, you can totally add more darkness there because it's on the bottom, so it's going to cast more shadow anyway. Maybe here I can add the red streak of the hair, like you were saying, maybe on the side. There we go. Like it? Like it? Yeah. So for the rest of the details for her, I'm not going to really do that right now, you guys. I'll do that afterwards because I want to move on to the other pieces. I will add some lipstick to her though because homegirl needs some lips. But I'm going to go ahead and probably add in, you know, I'm going to glitterify her body after I've glued her on. So that's something probably that I'll do tonight and let it dry for tomorrow. The rest of the things you will be able to see for now. I'm going to put it to the side. And let's go ahead and do him real quick. He was starting to stick. He was sticking to the table. No! He was sticking to the table. He got stuck. I must have left him on a wet area. That's the bad thing about chipboards. You gotta be real careful where you lay them. Okay. Come on, glue. Do I have another one? I do. And then look, this is what I have. Let's just go ahead and do that. Okay, so we have our horse. Now for our horse, what are we gonna do for our horse? Copper and pink? That might look interesting, right? Some copper and some pink. Because we did want some pink in there, right? I got this baby pink and this copper. His name is Cosmo. So we're gonna put pink in there. And I'm just gonna give him a quick brush over with the pink. We're gonna start off with the pink first. So I'm just gonna brush the pink over him. And then we're gonna figure out all the details and where everything else is gonna go. And I don't know if pink and coral is gonna look, I mean pink and what color is it? Copper is gonna look well together, but we're gonna figure it out. Right? There's nothing to it but to do it. And overall, I don't know if the dynamics of my painting is gonna function as a whole because of the colors that I'm using, and I don't care. Feel free to use the colors how you wish. Yeah, right? All right, so let me grab, wanna do my brush. Where's my other brush? Okay, let me grab a brush. Okay, so he's got these tubes here, so I'm gonna go ahead and kind of make him a little bit steampunkish, I guess, right? So I'm gonna cover all the balls with the copper. And we're gonna see. Yeah, because we don't know what these guys are made of, right? They're all the way out there in outer space. We don't know. Right? As a matter of fact, I'm gonna add the tubes to it as well. Okay. And we don't know what Cosmo's purpose is, but we know that he's Lula's friend. And she doesn't care that he's different. She loves him. Or her. I have no idea if it's a guy or a girl. Aren't seahorses the ones that can give birth when male, female, doesn't matter? I don't know. Anyway, that's too sciencey for right now. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and just add some lines in here and some of these little spaces that I made to add shadow. Because that's what all of these little bumps are for, all these little spaces. It's for you to add shadow in between each of those little bumps. And I'm going to use my black as well and go back into it and just reinforce those shadow areas. So we're just going to do that. Like I said, I try to put things in there to make my life easier so I don't have to be second guessing where certain things like shadows, you know, highlights, whatever they may be, where they go. Okay. Wherever I see a space, there goes the flashing. It's like, hurry up, woman, hurry up. Okay, do the same up here. So I did put them in there as well. And then we're going to start kind of adding some of the black in there as well. Now with the black, I think I'm going to leave this for just the copper. Let me grab this one to do the black. Let's dry. Sorry if you guys are writing and I'm not paying any attention. So going from the edges inward and just kind of letting the brush lay whatever it wants to lay there. Right? Going from the grooves, from the little openings. And maybe since I have some of that paint there, I'll add a little bit of that paint as well. I think copper looks really pretty with that teal. And hopefully it'll look really nice. I work with all the colors. Welcome, Deb. Girl, there's no colors up limits. None. I actually even like orange. So you don't even have to do too much detail work with something like this. It's already starting to show. Yeah, this is part of my latest design for the Jupiter collection, which is what I'm calling my latest chipboards. That's not gonna that's to be confused with what the name of the store is gonna be. So if you start searching for Jupiter's collections, you're not gonna find what I got. You're gonna find maybe other stuff, but you're not gonna find what I got. Okay. I kind of want it to be really dark where those grooves start. So I'm just gonna put that in there. Imagine how cool this will look all steampunked out, like really, really steampunked. I think this will look super cool steampunked. Okay. And then I'm just gonna add a little bit of this black here. And what I'm gonna do is just kind of just brush it on. Thank you, thank you. Mystical Mimo coming to it. I know, right? Finding Cosmos. Finding Cosmo. That's gonna be the next Finding Nemo movie. So now I'm gonna grab some of this because I have it here, so I don't want to waste any of that paint. That yummy, delicious paint. And I'm gonna add a little bit. And again, this is all just dry brushing, so whatever goes on, goes on. If I feel like I put too much at any point in time of anything, I can always take it back. For something like this, I like to go with the smaller side of the brush. I have a little bit more control of how much goes on that way. And sorry if I make you dizzy as I go spinning this thing around, but in order for me to see exactly what I'm doing, I have to be able to kind of move it. And then the rest of this will just be kind of sticking everything together. I'm going to at least start sticking these guys down. I still have a few fishes there. We'll see how much time I have to be able to get those in, but I don't want to make this so long that when somebody wants to watch it, they're like, oh my goodness, I have to give up a whole day to watch this video. So I'm going to try to not make it too long. In 2 hours and 23 minutes so far. And I really like that. Right? I really, really like that. Making sure that my copper is still showing. I know I kind of lost it a little bit. Just adding a little bit of it here in the front. Just a little bit. And I don't know if I'm going to give him an eye or not. I've been thinking about that. I think he deserves an eye though. And don't let the pink color fool you. We don't know what it is. Right? Okay, 4 hours is good. No, 4 hours and I will literally be like, I couldn't do it. All right, so let me go ahead and start building this thing, you guys. I know I still have some coral and some fishes there to do. But I want to give you guys at least, you know, the gist of it. And I hate doing videos that I don't finish, especially the lives. But as you guys can see, it does take me quite some time. And Tasson has to get up early to go to work tomorrow. Let me get the camera. So I have to be mindful of that as well. All right, my friends. So, yes. We're going to do that. Let me go ahead and kind of get this in there. We used my stencil, my latest design, which is the stencil, which is the entrance to the grotto. That's what I'm calling it. It's kind of supposed to be the entrance to like a cave made out of, it's supposed to be sea themed, so it's kind of like rocks or coral pieces or whatever you want to call it. But this is basically what it looks like. And I've gone ahead and stenciled that already earlier in the live, and I kind of let it dry. It's decent enough. So what I'm gonna do, actually, I'm gonna grab some black, and let me get this thing back and put this in here. Yeah, so now you can kind of see that it disappeared a little bit, but you can kind of still see that the texture is there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of darken that whole thing up around there. Actually, I have some paint here. I'm just gonna do that with my finger, I think. I think that'll probably work better for me. Just to kind of like get it in there with my finger. And then once I get this in there, then I'll be able to kind of go over this texture with some kind of metallic something or the other. So we'll see kind of like how the whole thing folds out. You can totally use a spray or something like that if you wanted to. The stencil is going to be plastic, so you can use any kind of medium with it. And I still have a whole bunch of stuff here that I didn't even get to use. I spent so much time describing and being enamored with what I created that I took up a lot of the time for the live. So I do apologize for that, you guys. I do have like a time frame in mind when I do set these live streams up of how long, more or less, I want to, I'm able to kind of go live. Not that I'm not able, but you know, so someone's been working every single day this week, every single day last week, every single day the week before that. So he has been going nonstop since this whole thing started without a day off from work. And he's gonna need all the rest that he can get to deal with tomorrow, which is another hectic day. And more hectic for him than it is for me because I just get to wait here for him. But he has to go out there and deal with the world. Hello, Nelly. How are you, love? So I'm just going to go ahead and just do this and pick up all this texture that I've got going on here. And then I'm going to use some metallic paint and some glitter paint, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'll do that afterwards where I'll just kind of paint over each individual little rock. And this doesn't have to be perfect, you guys. I'm not looking for perfection. I'm just looking for good coverage. That's basically what I'm doing right now, just covering this all up. And I'm using my finger so that I can kind of blend it all out. Okay, a little bit more around here. Okay. All right, so we have this whole thing kind of covered up, which is kind of what we wanted. So you guys can still see all the texture that is there, all the texture that we was able to capture with my stencil. So let me just give it a quick dry so that I can rub some buff over, some color over that. And again, this is acrylic, so it dries really fast. Okay. And I think she's gonna look absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Right there. But again, we still have a few things to do to her. I have to kind of define her eye and all of that other good stuff, but I will add those details shortly. Let me grab some wax and I'm gonna look for my whites. Right? There's silver. Silver works. Silver works if silver works. I don't know if silver's gonna work. Which sound? The dog barking? Yes, he still does. Give me a second. Get some water. That's enough. I just need a drop. That's what that's in there? Yeah. Ew. No. Someone put something in the water. Think I don't gotta drink it though. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and use some of this. This is Silver Spark. Again, Deco Arts Dazzling Metallic. It's their wax, and it does go on permanent, but you can also water it down, which is what I've been doing, especially when it's dry. Okay, so let's pick up some of that texture again. Now that we've got this kind of happening here, we can pick up some of the texture from those rocks or whatever that is. That could be coral. I have no idea what my mind was thinking. All I know is that I really enjoyed making the holes. I just kept adding more and adding more and adding more. And I thought it was kind of quirky to combine, you know, something celestial with something sea themed. So that's the kind of thing that you can expect from that's the kind of things that you can expect from me, are these kinds of, you know, unorthodox designs, if you will. So that's kind of like how I like to create. My mind is stuck somewhere between reality and illusion, so my pages, my art tend to reflect that. Wow, just make sure I bring that all out. So I really like that because it's like an entry, and we achieved the circular by basically just putting the stencil on both ends and using it that way. But you can use the stencil in a garden. You can use it in you can use it in so many different themes and scenes. It's like, you don't, just because it's in a sea themed set doesn't mean you have to just use it for sea themed, you know, type crafts and projects. So you can use it. It doesn't have to be just for things with water and fishes in it. I think this would look super cool, like if you did like a garden scene with some birds and some butterflies and just different things flying around. Let's see. I want to incorporate some of that silver in here. Just kind of incorporate a little bit of that going in there. It's almost like mirror, mirror on the wall, right? That's kind of like what it looks like. Oh no. Yeah, you're definitely tired if that's the case. All right. So that's what we did. That's how that's looking. And then we have, I gotta draw him an eye, and I'm gonna do a whole bunch of stuff to him, but I'm gonna glue him in place for you guys for now. And I'm gonna glue her in place. But I think, do I want to, I think so. I'm gonna grab some cardstock or chipboard actually, like cardboard, and I'm gonna just elevate that a little bit. Just to kind of elevate it a little bit. Yes, Cosmo's entering into the Stargate. This is the teleporter. I'm always fighting with glue, you guys. Have you noticed? Okay. And then when it comes out, it wants to come out all at once. Like, what the heck? Okay, so I'm gonna just kind of put that there. Right. I don't want that to show. Put that there on the head. Right there. And then we're gonna kind of just stick it there. Right. Oh, it's happening in every video you watch. The things is like flashing. Yeah, it's been doing it a lot today in this one. And then we're gonna have her there. I still have to fix her because she's not, her face, she don't have a face right now. So I'm gonna be adding her face. I'm gonna be adding shadows here and there. I'm probably gonna work on some kind of a corset or something that's gonna go here. So like I said, if you haven't followed me on, I'll share it again on Saturday because I will be live on Saturday at 8 p.m. With another creation. You'll have to wait to see what the next piece is gonna be. And I think that after next Saturday's, probably it's gonna, I don't want to say it's gonna be like the last installment for the Jupiter collection, but I think I'm getting close to having a whole bunch of what I need for that collection. I also have Cosmo Small here as well. So I don't know, we'll see. I got a whole bunch of stuff to add. We have all of these different coral pieces that I'm gonna be kind of adding in here. That's gonna kind of go like that. And then we're gonna have like just a whole bunch of like little, all the little fishes, all the little pintos are gonna kind of be swirling about. Maybe something like that, right? Oh, you love small Cosmo? Yes, it's gonna be small Cosmo and large Cosmo. And then I'll have to figure out exactly where. I wish I could put him so that, well, maybe I can. So that she's like petting that one and calling that one like, hey, you come here, don't go in there. But I don't know if it sounds a little weird. It might sound a little weird. She's like, I got the baby, come here. But yeah, you guys, I don't, like I said, I don't want to cut it short, but I think I'm gonna cut it short. Well, I don't know if this is short, but it's already going on 3 hours, so I'm gonna cut it off as it is. This is preliminarily speaking what the layout is gonna be. Mainly, my whole thing for today was to share with you guys the new chipboards, and definitely to share with you guys the stencil, the entrance to the grotto. I absolutely love it. I am going to do some fine touches with this. I'm going to be adding an eye to this. I'm going to be adding some other little fine details with some markers and stuff like that, just to give it a little bit more detail. I'm following most of those creases and lines. I'm going to just make it a little bit more defined. I'm going to be adding her face in, just giving her, you know, the signature where her eye is, and just, you know, enforcing certain details and just adding more stuff. I'm going to add more glitter to this part here and just reinforce that glittered area that I had originally. I am going to go ahead and glitter her body as well after I paint her face in. I'll be giving you guys, though, I'll be updating like on Facebook. Usually what I'll do is like I'll start working on it, and then like I'll put pictures up of how it's going as I continue to work on it. Because I don't know about dedicating a whole nother video just for a few other pieces. So most likely, since I did do a lot of it today, I'll just share with you guys what the finished product is going to be on Saturday when I come back live with the next installment for the Jupiter collection, you guys. And yes, I want to say thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope that you guys are as excited for what is coming as I am, because I'm super thrilled. And oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Liz, I want to thank you so much for your contribution. I do greatly appreciate it. And believe you me, that's going to go right into what you see before you, into making more and being able to produce more. So thank you so much for that. If you guys have any questions, you can find a lot of information in the description area. Also, my contact information is there. If you want to get signed up for the mailing list so that when I go ahead and open up the store, you're one of the first people to know before I let the world know, Then all you have to do is contact me and let me know that you would like to be notified when the store becomes open for you to be able to check these out and purchase them, because I am going to have limited quantity, you guys, as far as what I can make, because the collection is so large. So I am going to be on a limited quantity until I can restock the supply. So some of you guys are going to be able to get your hands on these before others. If you want to be one of those people that gets your hands on the Jupiter's collection first, then you have to be on that waiting list, because those are going to be the first people that I'm going to be contacting when this officially becomes available for sale. And as you guys can see, you're going to have a lot of beautiful pieces and more pieces to come. There are going to be some stencils. You already saw the first one, which is the Grotto. And there's going to be all these different chipboards. We're going to have Pinto. We're going to have Cosmo. We're going to have Lula. We're going to have Jupiter. We're going to have a whole bunch of things. We have some coral trumpets and just a whole bunch of goodies. And the collections are going to continue to evolve and continue to grow. So I'm super excited for this new chapter in my life, as well as yours. Oh my goodness, you guys. I want to say thank you all so much for the support, for the love, for the encouragement, for just holding me down. I do greatly appreciate it. And with all that being said, I want to wish you all safe passage. If you have to go out of your house, please make sure that you cover yourself up, that you bundle up, that you cover your face, that you have those gloves, that you disinfect going out, coming in. Anything that you touch, make sure that you are ready to clean your hands, because people look healthy and they have it. You never know who's got what. So just please make sure that you guys are, safe out there. All my social media information should be in the description area down below, but if it's not, I'm Elemental Designs Crafter on Facebook. I am at Design Elemental on Instagram, and you already know me here as Elemental Designs on YouTube. So be blessed. Thank you all so much. Much love, hugs and kisses to you all, and I'll see you all on Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Bye.